Welcome back to Tune to Life. And today we're going to be working out whether cash is still king or not. Will CBDCs be the one that will topple it from its throne? So, yeah, it's an interesting one. We've been looking at this for a while, and the push. We're in the UK. If you've not understood what we're here, but UK is looking to introduce digital currency, and I don't know how that's going to work out here, because here in the UK, I don't really understand. There is concern from some people. There's always this silent majority that says nothing, toes a line, and goes along with things. And then there's going to be a few people like, no, this is going to be bad. We're going to be surveilled. And they'll come out and they're going to be far more vocal about their dislike, or disdain to digital currency or anything like that.
Yeah.
And you'll think, oh, that's the people's reaction. That's necessarily not. It's not necessarily the people's reaction. There's a lot of stuff online where people talk about it and the fear of it. I personally aren't really enamored with the idea of digital currency.
Definitely not.
Not at all.
No.
Not at all, because the obvious things for me. Some people won't. And I think it's an age thing as well.
Yeah.
I think it's an age thing. I think a lot of younger people won't really care
about
because they've got used to it.
That's just digital.
Where
digital
cash
world.
isn't used as much as it were before.
Oh, that's right.
I think with people, over 40, 45 up to 50 upwards, they use cash and a bit more. And they got into habit, I think, of not using cash, but now reverted back to using a bit more cash.
That's right. Yeah. And I think in the last 3 years they took it.
I think something like that. 3 to 5 years, people start using a bit more cash now, rather than just tapping.
What do you think that is? Is it more the circumstances that we're in, the economics? I
think it's a psychological thing.
Okay.
Because when you are just tapping your card or use your phone or use whatever digital device you've got just to buy a coffee or whatever it might be, there's a psychological process that goes through that you're not really thinking it's real money.
No, you're right, actually. Disassociation, isn't it?
You just think, well, I want, I get.
That's it.
Immediate gratification. And you just get it.
Yeah.
And then you see numbers. You might look at your account, thinking numbers, and there's enough numbers in there for me to get that.
That's right. Yeah.
But there's a whole different relationship to cash. When you've got cash in your wallet,
no, you're right.
It's a whole different process because one, it's something that feels real, it's tangible. You have, let's say you've got £100 in your wallet, and then you go off and you buy a coffee or you buy a sandwich or you have a meal, and you see that dwindle down and you've only got £30 left. You think,
here comes the breaks.
And then if you have to go back to the hole in the wall to take out more money again, you start thinking, well, hold on, I'm spending too much.
Right,
You try to put some controls on that.
That's it, yeah.
And I think there's a disassociation with it.
No, I think I agree with that too, actually.
When you have digital money as opposed to having the cash. Now, I think that for a lot of younger people, I think people from 18 up to sort of 30, so used to this bang, 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 it really doesn't matter.
Yeah.
It really doesn't matter. The cash is something that, well, just use a card and it's easy come, easy go sort of thing. And there's a lot, the relation to it is different. I think.
And the funny thing is also, Andrew, that I was looking at this actually, they've kind of extended, so from 2007 that they talked about the contactless card system, and they've expanded it just bit by bit. Like £10 initially it started at, then it went to £20 in 2010, and just a little bit, and now we're at £100.
Yeah, and if you've got Apple Pay, limitless.
Is it?
You just go tap, and it'll do anything.
Serious?
Yeah.
I wasn't aware of that.
Yeah.
Wow.
I don't think there's a limit on it at all.
Ooh.
As long as you've got it, it'll pay for it. So, it's just the way how things are going.
Okay.
And I try to be mindful personally of what I do, because if I've got a bit of cash, I I tend to sort of use that
Okay.
as opposed to just
Using
constantly
the
tapping
giving
like
the
crazy.
yeah.
Because I found myself getting a habit. I think, what am I
Of
doing?
yeah.
You're spending far more
Yeah.
than what you should be spending.
It is a dangerous trap, you know. I have to say,
Yeah.
I've
Because
probably
I'm
fallen
used to a
into it.
different world.
Okay, okay,
Yeah, do
yes,
you
yes,
get
yeah,
you see what I
yeah,
mean?
yeah.
Because when you had money in your wallet,
Yeah,
you'd be like spending it. You think, oh God, that £20, back in the day, people would
yes.
say, yeah, I had a 50, I broke into that 50 and it's gone.
Gone, yes, yeah.
And we would talk like that. We got
Yeah.
20, I brought that 20 and it's
Gone,
gone.
yeah.
And people are much more aware of
Aware
their
of it.
spending habits and
That's
what they
right.
did. Yeah. But you don't hear that sort of language being
No.
touted anymore.
No, you
People don't
don't.
say, oh, I broke that 20. People just go bing, 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 bing,
Yeah,
bing.
yeah.
Whereas before people were mindful, I'm talking about 25 years
Years
ago.
ago, yeah.
25 years
Yeah,
ago,
yeah.
maybe 30 years ago, people think, oh, you know what? I spent £50 a day. Where did I spend it
Spend it
on?
on, that's
Yeah.
right.
And people used to have that conversation more often.
That's right.
Now you don't hear that. You do not hear that at all.
Yeah.
People just spend, as long as they've got it,
That's
they
right.
spend it.
There's no value on it, is there? There's no kind of
No
like
value.
No, nothing at all. Yeah.
So, in my humble opinion, I think that if we completely move away from cash, then as a whole different ball game again in terms of how our relationship with money. Because digital money, as far as I'm concerned, it's not tangible. It's not real at all. And I do understand the process that we exist in now, that the money sort of isn't real now. I get that.
Yeah.
But we pump in so many billions into the system so we can have access to cash.
Yeah.
But with that, you do have a modicum of control.
Yeah.
This is what you do. You can, to some degree, do that. I know some people, they get paid.
Yeah.
So what some people do is that they will make sure that they've got enough money in their account to pay their bills.
Yeah.
And they work out how much cash they can take out over the next month.
Okay.
So that could be like 400 or 300 or whatever it might be, or £200.
Yeah.
And they keep that cash with them and they spend it in cash as opposed to tap. So they can better manage their money.
It's fun. So
I know people that do that. And I think,
yeah,
what are you doing that for?
Yeah.
And I understand that they're able to control it better because they know that when they leave it in there, there's tap for that. It goes out a lot quicker than they would ordinarily.
Yeah, there's a kind of, I think they call it stuffing system. They call it, and it's similar to what you've just said there. Where I think it's a kind of a craze on social media, and I think some of the young people are adopting that. Where obviously, as you said, they take out cash, they have an envelope in terms of right, this is for groceries, this is for this is for that, and actually, then what they then do with that is they stick to that, and actually, when it's gone, that's it. Nothing else happens from that. They wait till that next cycle of money comes in to replenish that.
Yeah. So that's another method, isn't it? It's another way.
Yeah.
But I think people are doing what they can do because with this society we've got now, where you just spend, and with the cost of living crisis exists and things getting more expensive, people have to look at much more. I mean, older habits.
It's quite interesting, isn't it? Yeah.
I was going innovative, but I said no, not innovative. Going back.
Yeah.
Going back to what people used to do.
And what worked also.
Yeah, it worked.
Yeah.
To take control of their spending and take control of what they do. And I think that it's a whole other thing. But we're digressing slightly.
Yeah.
But I think that when we come down to it, I want to look at sort of which countries are using sort of CBDCs now.
Okay.
Digital currencies.
Yeah.
So you've got Bahamas.
Yeah,
and I did this. I didn't really know before, but Bahamas, they've got the sand dollar.
Yeah.
And they introduced that in 2020, and that the adoption to that the uptake is slow.
Okay.
It's really, really slow. But cut to the chase, all of the countries, bar China, is slow.
Wow.
It's slow.
So it's not something that's going to be out there. Okay, it's interesting.
So Nigeria's got the e-naira.
Yes, that's it. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
E-naira. That was introduced in 2021.
Yeah.
But they've introduced it alongside cash.
Okay, which kind of makes
and
sense.
Reduce the amount of cash in the system.
Wow, so to promote the actual digital currency, right? Okay.
And it's still slow.
Wow.
A very small take up, and people are still using cash. even though there's a small amount of cash available, but they're still using cash, showing that people don't want it. And we're getting to reasons why
that is,
after.
yeah.
Then you've got Jamaica. I was shocked.
I don't,
Jamaica
no,
was
I,
raises
well, that's what I thought, yeah.
22, 23 it came out. Now, hold on. And think about this, like, say in Nigeria or Caribbean.
yeah.
Hold on, you go down to this. How does it make sense
Go on.
to introduce digital currency in a country where you have large populations of people living below the poverty line?
I know. Crazy, isn't it?
How do where there are some people, a certain amount of people who don't understand how the banking system works in the first place,
yeah.
don't even hold a bank account,
Yeah, I hear that.
all right?
Yeah.
And you're introducing digital currency. And they're reliant on, let's say, they might be selling some produce, they might be selling your little item,
yeah.
it is that people buy off their little moving stall,
Oh, that's it, yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So, and people will buy from them because that's what people do.
That's right.
So people have got a little bit of money, will say, all right, okay, I'll buy some peanuts
Cash,
off
yes,
you,
yeah.
or I'll buy some fruit off you,
Yeah.
or I'll buy this. And people do that transaction in cash.
Cash, that's right.
Now, if you're moving towards digital currency and want to phase cash out, how will those people survive? How will they survive? Yeah, get a card reader and don't know how to work it, or they don't got a bank account. Some of them don't even have you're gonna to open a bank account.
Yeah.
You have to carry like your passport,
Passports, yeah.
and they don't have a passport. They don't have the means to. Some of the reading ability
Literally.
is
Yeah,
a 4-year-old
Wow.
or 5-year-old.
Crazy, isn't it?
So how are you forcing those people to go into digitized world when they're ill prepared for it? And you've ill prepared people for that.
Yeah.
So who are you addressing this digital currency to?
Yeah.
To people who are affluent, or people who have money, or people doing well. But so the rest of the nation. And how will they survive if there's no cash?
Poor, isn't it? Poor thought out process.
They don't care.
Yeah,
It just shows they don't care.
Yeah, digitalized.
And again, maybe the same thing in Nigeria. There's a small amount of cash, but they're not thinking about that. They're thinking about how they can control and navigate money in a way that suits them. So I think there it begs a question about, will it work? Now we'll come on to that much later. So part of my conclusion. But so you have again where there are phase rollouts. Some of these phase rollouts even in Jamaica as well.
Okay.
But they're still rolling it out. They're pushing it through. It's like, it's here. So it's not even a pilot. They're just getting it out there.
Just getting out there. Okay.
They're doing it first. So you've got like phase rollouts in Kazakhstan.
Okay.
Of all places, which is quite interesting. They had their first live transaction in 2023. And there's a phase expansion with that. This is interesting. So you've got large pilots,
Okay.
right? Which is China,
Okay.
which is the ECNY, whatever that is.
Yan, I thought Yan or something like that. Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
So they've integrated it in major apps. So they've gone a long way. They've gone the furthest in the world.
They're the leader, aren't they?
They've gone the furthest.
Are there any?
They still have cash.
Yeah.
They still have cash.
Okay.
But in terms of the way the digital currency and digital ID is networked
In the
into
infrastructure,
the system, they're way ahead
of it,
They are way ahead.
Are there any other big players?
I mean, you've got India trying to introduce their digital rupee.
Rupee, okay.
It's wholesale and retail products that they're using that for, really, more than anything
Okay.
else. But that again, I think is phase. They're trying to move that forward. Whether that will gather traction there or not is another matter. And you've got Russia. Well, it's a law, effectively. They've just turned around and said, this is mandatory.
Wow.
Banks have to get involved mandatorily.
Wow, okay.
There's no deliberation, talking about it, consultations. Like, You do
To
it.
do it. Wow.
Yeah.
So I wonder
Yeah.
if that's gonna. I wonder when. So that's a pilot now, as it stands, or just is it actually
Well,
operational?
they're rolling it out.
Oh wow.
They're rolling it out, and this year was a major rollout.
Oh.
So it's going through that process right now.
Ooh, that's interesting.
Yeah.
That's interesting. Actually.
Yeah, this year. So it is very interesting. You got Brazil's got was it Drex?
Drex, yes,
the
yeah, I saw that,
national
yeah,
pilot.
yes, yeah.
So I'm not sure when it's going to happen,
fall
but there's
out.
there's a launch expected pretty soon. I'm not sure when.
Okay.
It's not been announced yet. So you've got the Euro.
Yeah.
Does Euro a 2-year preparation phase? So it's between October was when they reached the final bit. So I think it's going to the final phase now. I think they're looking at it, but that's going to be interesting. But there are some features on it which causes some concern,
Okay.
which we'll get into later on.
Okay.
So you've got Japan, Switzerland, others are running pilots. Japan's looking at in terms of retail, to how would they incorporate that in terms of people buying stuff and doing this and whatever. And Switzerland is looking at how they're moving towards that. So you've got a global picture around half the world in its pilot development. Only a few are fully launched. It's
Yeah, it's kind of
not
okay.
quite all there yet.
Yeah, the kind of sense I get because I kind of that these countries really are kind of trying to operate from a place where they can, I suppose, control their currency better and move away from the dollar. Is it
Yeah, and you've got SWIFT at the moment and as a payment. And MasterCard.
Yeah,
whatever it is. Whatever, I think there's major players SWIFT and whatever.
Yeah.
Now these big companies charge X amount per transaction, and there are trillions of transactions done.
Okay.
Hundreds of trillions every day, every month, every week. So if they have digital currency, it'll be used on a different platform, and therefore each country will save money on their international transactions, wholesale and retail transactions.
That's interesting. So I wonder actually how much, in terms of those transactions, how much money's been made. You know,
I don't know.
That must be
crazy amount. Of money.
Must be
crazy amount.
They can dictate the terms, can't they?
To a degree. So what it is, individual countries will move away from that,
okay,
and have greater control. So essentially, what should happen? Laugh. You know what I mean? What should happen is that there should be a reduction in prices. Things should get a little bit cheaper. Technically,
yeah.
You know how it works.
I see.
And if they introduce again digital payments, it means like getting money payouts, whether it's for benefits or whether it's disaster relief or direct payments from the government. That should happen instantaneously.
So quicker, okay.
Yeah, instantaneously. So if the government's giving a rebate on something, it should happen straight away. Technically.
But I get that works two ways, yeah?
Of course. When it takes them out, it's coming out, boom, immediately.
Immediately, that's right.
So the drawbacks.
Yeah.
Let's look at the drawbacks. I think for the individual person, there's probably more drawbacks than there are positives.
Definitely.
And the drawback to this is like privacy.
I think that's a big one.
Huge one. That's why I'm not so into it. Because, you know, I'm not into this rubbish, Frankie, about people saying, "Oh, we've got nothing to hide." It's not about hiding.
Yeah.
It's about, you know, it really is about this. It's about if you're in your bathroom.
Yeah.
Right? This is a strange analogy. I know. In a bathroom, you're picking your spots or picking your nose. That's what you do. No one needs to see that. That's you. That's your private time. That's your little sovereignty. That's your little thing.
Yeah.
Now, everything you do, this is the thing that a lot of people haven't thought about, right? And they might welcome digital currency. Think about this. Your money, your digital currency, will have a footprint from the point of its origin.
Wow.
And to the point it gets to you.
A lot of history.
And when it leaves you, what you've done. So, for example, you go and buy a coffee, right? And if everything's digitalized, digital ID, digital currency, they have to work out when you left your house, when you got to the coffee shop, what type
So
of coffee you
you
bought,
That's right. That's right. You might bought for 2 people.
a
Who knows?
latte,
That's right.
a cappuccino, a
Yeah.
hot chocolate,
Yeah.
whatever it might be,
Yeah.
a soft drink, a
Yeah.
fruit. When you bought
Yeah.
it, when you left from there, when you paid for parking, when you did this, every single thing. So in terms of the data
Data.
about you,
Just
the
gonna say that.
profile,
Yeah.
there's going to be a digital you being created, a digital you that is full of information about what you do, your lifestyle, everything.
Where does that information go then?
Hold on.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
that's going to be there. Now, I would essentially, organizations
Yeah.
will have that.
Yeah.
Your bank would have that data rich on you, and other services that have access to that would have access to that information, building a digital image of you
You. So yeah.
and your digital footprint. Yeah. So everything about what you do. So let's say in the future, 10 years from now, probably won't happen in our lifetime, probably, 15, 20 years time, they'll say to somebody, so Frankie, you went to the shop and you have about 4 or 5 coffees a day. And is that healthy for you? Is that really healthy for you? I don't think that's really good. And you eat a lot of high saturation fat foods. So that's going to affect your
Insurance
insurance
policy. Oh my days. Yeah.
your health insurance. You see, you can track
that's
all
of that.
sorts.
Yeah. Yeah.
Then you can turn around and say, right, depending on if you've got health points, let's say the higher health points is the more discount you get.
Yeah. Yeah. For your premiums. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you have to give access now to your digital self,
Yeah.
and they check how much health points you've got, and they calculate how much your insurance should be, your health insurance. Because you can see already the NHS has been run down to the ground.
That's right.
And you can see that the next thing coming is everyone's going to have health insurance. You can see this coming. Yeah? And based on what you eat, your lifestyle, whether you drink, whether you smoke, what type of foods you eat, because that all going to record it if we go fully digital.
Wow, that's crazy, isn't it? That's really scary.
For the future.
It is.
It may not happen in this
kind
cycle,
of,
but for younger people with 10 or 11, that's what they're facing when they become an adult and start working in it. So you can see how we can, let's say, for example, now they want to look at how your carbon footprint. And in that process, check this out.
Yeah.
They're trying to move people away from eating meat and eating, tofu and what's it again? Plant-based.
Okay. Yeah.
Food.
Yeah.
Because they say the carbon footprint on meat and so on is not great
I see.
for planet. Whole nother story. Whole nother story. So they could in the future penalize people for eating meat. They would know, because if there's no cash and you have to buy it, if you eat over so many times in a week.
That's some serious control going
on
on
there.
there.
Serious control. So if it's abused, which I would classify as abuse, that's what could happen. You see? So you could look at this here. I've got a list of different things here. So real-time surveillance, seeing who does what and where. And look at this. This is a really important thing, which we discussed beforehand.
Yeah.
And this is what digital currency, if it were to come in fully and take over from cash, if it were fully installed. Now, there are going to be thousands of people, maybe millions of people in the UK who are on low pay, right? Just about surviving. That person, man or woman, may have a skill set that they can use. Now, let's say, let's take a fictitious character, Bob.
Okay.
Right? Fictitious character, Bob. He's earning just about being able to pay his rent. Maybe he's estranged from his girlfriend, his wife, so he's paying maintenance there. He's just about surviving, just about. And when I say surviving, he's not even, he has to skip a couple of meals a week,
Yeah.
2-3 meals a week. So he's a bit handy. Yeah, he can put a shelf up and he can do bits and bobs. So someone says to him, Bob, can you just fix this thing for me? He's a bit handy, so he fixes like a lawnmower.
Yeah.
And someone says, there goes 20 quid.
Quid, that's it,
Because they
yeah.
haven't got a lot of money
That's right,
themselves.
that's right,
And
yeah.
they've paid Bob 20 quid for
That's
thank
right,
you.
yeah.
So he thinks, oh, thank God, that 20 quid now means I can eat something
That's right.
tonight.
That's right, yep.
Right? So he collects 20 quid. Someone else asks him. So during the week, now and again, not all the time,
Yeah.
he gets your £20 here, your £40 here,
Yeah.
your £60 here
Yeah.
in a week. And over the month, maybe get a couple £100.
Yeah, that's it, yeah.
But that allows him to put the heat on
That's
a little
right.
bit,
Yep.
allows him not to skip maybe 7 or 8 meals for the month. He only skips 2 meals a month. So he manages. He just gets by.
Right, that's right, yeah.
Digital
The
currency
currency.
comes through. Now, before I get to that point, I should say, because I jumped ahead of myself. Now, that money's in his pocket. He takes that money and he goes to the shop and he buys some food and he takes it home. Now, no one knows he's bought that food. He's gone to wherever it is and he's bought some food. Or he's gone to a takeout or he's gone wherever it is. He's bought some food and he's eaten and think, oh, thank God for that.
So
He's
that's,
eaten.
yeah.
No one knows that transaction. Only him and the shop
Yeah.
understands that transaction. Right?
Yeah.
And yeah, I know, fair enough. Yeah, you could say you should be declaring, but if he declares it, you're not going to make any money.
Money, that's right, yeah.
Right? So yeah, I understand that you should and whatever it is, yeah, but I'm saying this is what happens. This is the real world.
It is the real world.
This is the real world. It's happening out there.
Yeah.
Now, if that £20 that the person has got to send it from their account to his account, and he gets it, oh, all of a sudden you need to pay tax on it.
Yeah, that's right.
And you think, well, okay, now I've paid X amount tax on that. Instead of having £200, I've got £100.
Yeah.
And is it worth me doing that? Now, he's thinking, I've missed maybe 8 meals for that month. Now I'm only missing 2 meals because I've got the extra money. But because I'm going to pay on that, I'm going to miss 5 meals.
That's right,
instead of the 8. So he's not that much better off.
That's right.
And yes, he should pay tax on that.
Yeah.
But this thing's happening out there. That's the real world.
That is the
and
real,
no one wants to talk about it. But it's the real world.
No, I agree with you.
Yeah, it's the real world. So you're going to find people aren't going to be better off. Poor aren't going to be better off. They're going to be worse off.
Yeah. And I think there's a whole collective of people out there
worse
that are like
off.
that in that same situation. Yeah.
Because sometimes there are some people like that. I'm not saying it's the right thing to do. I'm just saying it's things that happen.
That's right. Yeah. Yeah.
You know, sometimes, it could be that there's a woman. She has a couple of kids. It's really tough.
Yeah.
She's got some work. She can't afford childminder. So when the children go to state nursery or go to school or whatever it is, she has to run and get a little drop here and there, but it's not enough. So she gets a little top up here and there, but it's still not enough. So the ex-partner may not have a lot of money, right? And she said, look, kids need nappies, I need this, I need that, I haven't got enough money, I've only got like £4 at the end of the week or the end of the month, whatever it is. And he's thinking, oh my God, I'm giving enough.
Yeah.
Because I haven't got that much myself. But he needs to work a bit extra. And he thinks, well, if I work extra, it's going to go in tax.
That's right, yeah.
And I'm not going to be able to afford to give her X, Y, Z.
That's right.
So he works with a cash in hand here or whatever it is, and he gives her that money. That's all gone. All those things are gone. All those scenarios are gone. All those scenarios that people take for granted are gone. And you might think, well, yeah, the government gets more money and they can do more, whatever it is. Fair enough. But all those things happen and everybody knows it happens. I'm not saying it's right. I'm not saying
Fairness.
it's wrong. I'm not condoning it.
Yeah.
I'm not saying it's something that shouldn't happen.
Yeah.
Just saying what
happened?
happens.
Yeah.
And as a result of digital currency, those things won't happen anymore. But what will happen, people will suffer as a result. So it's right.
Yeah.
Bro-
So you think it's? I mean, in essence, I mean, is it a mechanism for more control
Yeah, well,
from the
absolutely.
government in terms of
The
anything?
byproduct,
Yeah,
100% is going to be control.
Yeah.
They will control anything they
Everything.
want to control. They will control you. You know, if they want to freeze your account, easy.
And
Because
that's
you can't go to the
Yeah.
bank and take out money. You can't go to your friend.
Yeah.
Oh, give me some
Cash.
to eat.
That's just crazy, isn't it?
So think about it, right? This is another the other side of it. Right now, if someone's run out of money, or let's say that in that situation,
Yeah.
their account is frozen for some
Some
ordinary reason, they can't eat. Now, in terms of cash, if that happens, I could say, oh,
Yeah,
thank you, Leonard's tenner.
yeah.
Oh, yeah, it's £10. You can go and still eat.
Yeah.
In those circumstances,
Situations.
you
God,
are locked down. Nobody can help you.
That's actually madness.
Nobody.
You know what, Andrew? It's funny you say that because I was thinking actually a couple of years back, I had a little situation that come about, and I think someone complained about something in relation to the bank, and the bank locked down my account. Now I wasn't home, and I was out, kind of further out for a couple of days, and the drama that I had to try to get that account reopened again, I had to wait. I had no access to no money, and I thought to myself, that's actually mad. And thinking about that, I mean, I was lucky that the people I was with had sources of cash that could give me. But imagine digital currency, and I'm not able to access that from anywhere.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a frightening. That's definitely
Yeah,
frightening.
yeah, and that's the type of control. And can imagine you were lucky to have somebody be able to give some cash to survive.
Yeah.
Can you imagine no one being able to do that? No one being able to. You can't take out digital money and give. You can't take it out. It's there. So nobody can help you. They would have to give you food. They have to come around and eat at their house. Yeah,
and
or they have to go and buy food.
Wow. And who's to say? The people that you may have maybe miles down, from in terms of not live close to you. So therefore, to be able to,
So if you can't travel,
just right, and
you're not driving, no petrol in your car. How can if you can't
bus fare,
park anywhere?
bus fare, no money.
You're locked down completely.
Wow,
and that is very scary.
That is,
and maybe people need to think about that. Think about the consequences if it were abused or if you fell foul of the system. That you're just locked down completely. Yeah. Let's say, for example, what is even more scary is that if you traveled away on holiday, or you went whatever, and they locked your account
down. That's right. Yeah.
Wow. What do you do? You're in another country. You can't go anywhere. You can't do anything. Digital. So it's scary, and I think people need to push back. I think people need to push back on it because for a government to have that type of control is too much.
Yeah, it is too much.
Way too much. And people are sitting there thinking, oh, well, no, got nothing to hide and, nothing to fear. They're not really thinking it through.
And actually, I saw some social media.
I can't do that. Why?
Yeah. I've seen on some social media posts that there are some people looking to push back and say, look, we need to create our own systems outside of this system.
That will happen.
Yeah,
that will happen because history has always shown that. When there is too much control forced on its citizens, they will take to other means to work and live and operate outside of that restriction. That's what will happen. And they need to recognize that. And I think a lot of countries are going to go towards digital currency and cash.
Okay, so that'll be kind of a bit of both.
Yeah,
then.
and eventually
Some
over a long time phase it out.
Oh, okay.
And I think it'll only happen as the new generation comes through.
Okay.
Yeah? That's what I think. I don't think it'll happen any other time. And I think that if you look at it this way, you got criminal organizations, organized crime. On one side, you can see how they will probably love digital money.
Yeah.
Because right now, with digital security is so lapsed
Okay.
and so volatile
Rubbing
and
their hands
vulnerable
like, okay.
because they'll just hack into that and it will
That's
just
right.
be it'd be Christmas. Yeah, it'd be Christmas. Yeah. So, but the other side of it, you can see how it would cause
Yeah.
some
Some
problems.
problems, yeah, for them, yeah.
Yeah, on that side.
But
But
they can have the best of both worlds, though, can they not?
technically, yeah, technically, because look, you have sort of people would, I think that if they did it and they sort of pushed it and forced it on us, which I don't think will happen. I don't think that will happen. But if it were to happen, people would create their own currency, and I think it would, and I think that currency technically would be digital as well. It'd be like another coin,
Okay.
like a crypto coin that wouldn't be monitored, and people would use that to trade.
That'd be amazing. Just something how that would.
Yeah.
Trying to compute that in my head now.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay.
I don't know exactly how it would work.
Yeah.
I'm not into that.
Yeah.
But I know that's what probably would happen. And if it weren't digital, then it'd be physical. It'd be created, and people would be trying. I think it'd be just like, remember that movie, Total Recall?
That's what you said.
Yeah, Total Recall,
yeah.
where they go to Mars.
Yeah.
And they have this, but in Mars, a whole different currency, everything, and you have to have that particular currency. But you see that on Blade Runner as well in the old movies, where society has a way of operating, this digital, whatever it is. Then there's another side where they still have the old ways, money, that, whatever it is, and it's a liquid form of currency. Yeah? So that's potentially what would happen. I don't think you can kill the human spirit. I don't think you can drown it. I think you can contain it. I don't think you can contain it. It's very hard. You try and control it.
You know what?
You'll always find a way out.
Yeah. You know what? It sounds mad, but I kind of I see it like prison in some senses. That when when you're in prison, I say when you're in prison, not like everybody goes to prison, but
when somebody's in prison,
someone's in prison. What happens? They get very innovative, and so despite the system there that tries to clamp down, they will find ways to be able to get around security, to get around and create.
That's a human spirit. That's human spirit.
Yeah.
People always find a way.
That's right. Yeah.
They'll always find a way.
That's it. Yeah.
In the most restrictive thing, people can innovate and create something.
That's right. Yeah.
They'll always find a way. So I think that people worrying about it too much, it's going to be inconvenient for some people. They think, it'd be convenient because I'll just tap and I go. Because those are people who don't think. They don't, in my mind, they don't think. They just go along with whatever's in front of them and then go, I can't do that anymore. You should have known that
before.
A long time ago. It's quite clear.
Yeah.
But people will always find new ways around things. And I think that's the thing. And I think that there are... Let's look here. There are lots of issues. I think there are lots of issues with this, and I think that which countries will probably become the most powerful
as a result of
digital currency? I'm looking at it.
Okay.
And China is so far ahead that it probably will be the most dominant digital currency if ever were to run with it.
Yeah,
I think it would be.
What do you think in terms of what US are doing? You think US are trying to make a stir? Because obviously at the moment, I suppose
they've got no plans at the minute to introduce one. They've got no plans to introduce it. They've got plans, I think, to...
They're kind of put the regulations in place, aren't they?
No. To balance a digital currency with the dollar.
Yeah.
With it. I think that's what they're aiming to do. I'm not 100% sure. I'm sure
Okay.
people will correct me,
Okay.
but I think that's what they're aiming to do. But the euro, I think, is wanting to be a sharp contender for that as well.
Yeah.
But I don't think it's going to work particularly well.
And they're all trying to kind of climb to the top of the food chain because they see an opportunity to take the throne, as to speak.
Yeah, yeah, but I don't think I don't think it's going to work out the way in which they want it to work out. I don't think so because right now what we've got is low adoption. People and businesses simply don't use
Is
it.
it? Yeah.
All right, technical and security issues.
Massively.
All right, you got outages, hacks, privacy breaches. So you've got
Seriously.
things like if there's a power outage,
Outage. Gone.
it's done. You're losing billions
Business. Yeah.
in
Yeah.
transactions. Gone. Yeah, but if you've got cash, you can still
Yeah, just
do
done,
stuff.
yeah. And you've got
Yeah.
obviously the infrastructure. I mean, 4G, 5G. I mean, the infrastructure is not that great over here, is it really?
In everywhere. Yeah, you've got problems. So you've got economic instability again. You've got political rejection, Trump public opposition, privacy concerns, a changing government who might halt it. So you know,
Yeah.
it's not guaranteed
Teed
success. It really isn't. And you know, I think of this. If worldwide there is not a unilateral agreement with it,
That's
and it's not rolled out, and there's not interconnectivity with
yeah.
other countries, it's not going to work.
Yeah, and I think that's that. And the thing is, they're trying to, because obviously that's going to build public trust, isn't it? And people are going to feel comfortable. Okay, well, yeah, this thing stable is secure, so
Yeah,
they're going to.
and you've got to see countries that already rolled it out,
Yeah.
or what they've
Yeah.
like the e-naira hasn't really worked. So that is a really big indication for people that maybe this is not going to work so well.
Well, yeah.
And with people having all-time low in terms of trust for governments in the Western Hemisphere,
Yeah.
I can't see it really working that well. Some people want to jump on the back and, oh yeah, I've got it, you know, they don't want to jump in and be the first to have it. But generally, a lot of people are going to feel a little bit more apprehensive
hesitant about
about getting into it. So I think there's going to be problems on that mark. I don't think it's going to be a smooth thing, but people need to push back on it, definitely, on digital ID and digital currency. Yeah, I think definitely there's a real big problem. Yeah. And I think past the biggest thing now, the biggest crime right now and growing is cybercrime.
Right.
So can imagine with digital ID, which is a currency, can imagine that the problem. Let's say you are acting within the law and doing everything that's right. Okay? And everything, I'm just talking about in the future. And somebody or something tries to hack your digital identity or your bank, whatever it is. The bank locks you down while they investigate. How are you going to survive during that period of time? How the bank or whatever it is locks you down. What are you going to do? You say, I've not done anything. Oh, well, we investigated.
I know. That might take about a week or 2 weeks.
2 weeks, a month. What do you do?
Seriously.
What do you do? What safeguards are there? Yeah? What safeguards are there? You know, let's say somebody hacks into your digital bank or your banking system, your account, your digital account, your digital ID, and uses that to do a illegal transaction, which you didn't do. You didn't do. How are you going to prove that you didn't do it? How are you going to prove, my point, that you didn't do it? See, there are all these different things, and it's a worry. It's a worry. Yeah? If the person hacking your system didn't leave a footprint and the bank didn't know that somebody hacked, but there's a transaction with something that's not legal or something.
That's right.
Yeah, you see what I'm saying? And they might investigate it, but they'll lock you and freeze your account.
That's right.
So this is not a good thing, and people need to understand the implications of this, which I don't think they really understand the implications of it. They're not really looking for it, and yeah, it's a real problem. So will it succeed? I don't think, as winding this up, I
Mm.
don't think it will succeed in the way in which people think it may do. I think over a longer period of time, potentially. What period of time, I don't know. Maybe in 20 years, maybe longer. When the generation of people have
Yes,
died
yeah,
and
they're
gone,
done. Yeah.
where people who are much more, you know,
It's interesting.
malleable when they're
I
thinking
was gonna
about,
say that actually,
and
younger,
just
easy
so
to,
younger
yes, much
generation will
more
just,
suggestible and just
yeah,
easy
let's
to go
go,
with it.
let's,
No,
because
yeah,
what they
yeah,
used
yeah,
to,
yes, yeah,
will probably, the uptake will be better and whatever it
yeah.
is. But I think at the moment, it's a hard
Push, yes,
one.
our sales,
Yeah.
hard
Yeah,
sale, yeah.
I don't think it'll be, I don't think it will work out the way in which it will work out. I think the best that they may be able to do is run it in line with cash. And I think when they run it in line with cash, digital currency won't take off the way in which they think it will do. I think some people just use it and get into it, and then they'll think, oh, I don't know, and they'll want to use cash. So it'll push people into either cash
Cash
or
or
digital.
That's interesting.
And I think it might be a slow take up. I don't know.
Do you,
But I think
yeah.
it'll run in
Do you
line.
think because I mean I think it's quite interesting in terms of how COVID played a significant part in initially the uptake.
Yeah, of course.
Of
100%.
so I'm wondering whether potential situations ahead, future situations, scenarios that may present themselves.
Well,
Where
let me give you something here.
Yeah.
What I've noticed,
Okay,
so
yeah.
this is not necessarily across any board.
Okay.
There were some companies, some restaurants, some places that only took cash, only took,
Contactless.
contactless,
Yes, yeah.
cashless.
Yeah. Done a U-turn.
And a lot of them have closed.
Oh wow.
Yeah, they don't take cash. A lot of them are closed because not everybody wants to pay by card. Yeah,
You have the freedom of choice, I would have thought personally.
yeah.
But, yeah.
A lot of them are gone. You see? A lot of those companies have closed down some of their branches.
Yeah.
And I can't say it's probably because of that.
Yes, just totally put it that.
It
Yeah,
may be
yeah.
because of the fact that people are
That's a fact.
spending less. So yeah, I think there's some difficulties there, but I think there are some, issues.
I'm wondering then. Yeah, I'm thinking that perhaps, as I said, I think that government will try to take advantage of situations and circumstances or a predicament, and therefore then find ourselves being
Well, the only way that
forced
could
down a
really
particular
happen
way, yeah.
is if there was a financial crash, which a lot of pundits are predicting is going to happen.
Okay.
A huge, massive financial shutdown.
Yeah.
Massive crash. Now, if a crash happens, then you can see go digital.
Yes, yeah.
You can see that will be how it'll go.
And there would be no, I suppose, and in terms of people having a choice about that,
No choice. It's gone. It's gone.
That's not a nice.
Yeah, that's another subject. We don't get into that one, but a lot of people are predicting it. A lot of people are predicting it. A lot of very wealthy billionaires are predicting it. Who are in the financial markets are predicting a complete, utter financial crash.
Reset, kind of. Then we've got a new system.
You're reset, yeah. As they're predicting, and a lot of us thinking it's too far fetched. But if billionaires are thinking about it, yeah, how will that work? How will it work for the ordinary person? If it does, what does it mean about the money in your bank? Will it just disappear? Will it go? Will it have no value anymore? What will happen? You see? So it sounds doom and gloom, guys, but we have to think about it. And I think we need to try and keep as much control as we can. The little that we have,
that's right. The
control of it. Yeah. And I think you need to think carefully about whether what you do and how you do what you do. It's very important. But we thought it would be worthwhile talking about it and worthwhile just floating the ideas. Yeah. So we're going to leave it there, but thank you very much for tuning in. Please like, share, and subscribe, and we'll catch up with you soon. Thanks very much. Bye for now.
Bye-bye.